Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So, by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now. Alright, and we are on. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. I am your host, as always, Samuel Warwick, and here with me I have one returning co-host. As always, we have Wyatt McCullough. How are you?
Good, you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you.
That's good to hear.
Okay, and I don't
You're
know
welcome.
and I have a new co-host today. I don't know how to really spell his name. It's Ben Ragus or Ben Ragus or whatever.
There you go. That works.
All right, Ben.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
there.
Second time.
All right, there we go. I got him. So, yeah. All right. So, can I have the question, Wyatt? Of course.
Who we have today, Samuel?
All right. So, who do we have today? So, today we have a guest. He has actually written for many Playhouse Disney things and Nickelodeon, of course.
PBS Kids.
Yes, he is. And did he write for PBS Kids too? I would think so, but I don't know. But we'll see.
No,
Yeah.
he did.
Okay, he did.
for
He did.
sure.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. So yeah, he's wrote for shows like Imagination Movers, Lazy Town, and Special Agent Oso, and he's wrote for Handy
So much more.
Mandy, apparently, and so much more. So I would
And
like.
World.
All right, World. Oh, he did
And
World
more.
too.
Yeah.
He did. Awesome. That's nice. That's good to know. That
Yeah,
is good
it's
to
on
know.
there.
That's good to know. World. Love
Yeah.
World. Anyway, yeah, he is a writer. I believe he is a writer, and
Me
I
too.
think he's I would like to I'm here to welcome him to our podcast. Mike Rabb.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Samuel. It's nice to be here.
It's great to have you here. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing okay.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's I'm in California, and we're having a really bad 3-day rainstorm. So I'm just trying to stay dry and warm inside.
Understandable.
That's very understandable. Yeah, weather's been crazy. Weather has been a little bit crazy here too, where I am. I'm from South Carolina, so it's it's very, weather is pish here. So
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
it's like I always like
it's
to.
whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, like I always like to ask my guests, I like to ask how they get started in the business. And so, may I ask to you, how did you first get started into, writing and doing things for television or whatever? Not doing writing.
Yeah. So much stuff. How'd you get started?
Yeah. So it started with there was ABC was offering Warner Brothers was offering a writers fellowship. They called it. It was a opportunity where anybody could apply and send in a script that they wrote. And if you got picked, you went through a writer's boot camp at Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And so thousands of people applied, and they only picked 12 people, and I was one of the 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was cool. And so after I went through that boot camp, and then at the end of it, I got offered a job as a writer on a CBS drama.
Huh.
And so, yeah, it was weird, but I was into it. And so I did that for about a season. Nobody saw the show. It was starring Rob Lowe. It was called Dr. Vegas.
Huh.
Anyway, I did that for about a year, and the show got canceled, and I had a really hard time getting hired again. I only had 1 year of experience, and there was a lot of people who want to be writers, and so I sent my scripts out, handed them out to anybody who would read them. I was just writing scripts all the time, and one of my scripts somehow ended up in the hands of a gentleman that worked at Nickelodeon, and he called me and said, "I really liked your writing, and have you ever written kids shows?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, it's not that much different from writing for adults. It's a little different, but," he's like, "Do you want to give it a try?"
Nice.
And so he was the showrunner for the show Lazy Town on Nick
Oh, wow.
Jr.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's your
Amazing show.
first. That's your first job.
Yeah, it was great. And so that was my first job, and they actually
Cool.
had me go to Iceland and write
Oh,
on the
wow.
show.
Whoa.
That was my
Kids
first
work.
job writing kids TV.
Nice. You went
And
to
that's how it
awesome.
started. And then that's all I've done ever since.
You've been going since then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I must ask you, what episode did you write for Lazy Town? Because when doing research, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I wrote The Crystal Caper.
Oh, that's a good
Oh
episode.
yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
episode.
Oh yeah.
Boy, it's been so long. I can't remember the other episode, but I wrote a
Right.
few, and I was part of the development team in Iceland. So I had my hands in a lot of episodes, but I think I was only credited with actually 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, you're only credit. So you wrote more than just the 2 that you wrote.
Yeah, they brought like 4 writers to Iceland and put us in a room in a studio together, and we just were all coming up with ideas, and then they'd see like, "Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, writer number 1, you can have that one, writer number 2." So we all helped each other out, but I think in the end I was only credited with a couple of actual episodes, even though I helped out and other people helped me out. So it was my
wow.
first job, so I was just grateful to be there, and it was exciting to be a part of that show. It was a very unusual, unique show. I've never
It
seen
is.
anything, and
Yes.
haven't seen anything like it since.
Yes,
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really
We
is.
need more stuff
Yes,
like that.
Lazy Town's really good. I gotta say, it's pretty good. My sister was a massive Lazy Town fan, so
It is.
her favorite character was Stepney.
Nice.
Yeah, it still holds up to this day. Oh yeah,
Sure.
Stephanie.
Yeah, she loved
Yep.
Stephanie.
It's kind of crazy to think that show, the original pilot, was way different than what we got on the actual pilot from the show. Because the puppets look different in that original pilot. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think the pilot that sold the show was done locally by Magnus, Sporticus, and the rest of the team in Iceland. That's where they all live. And
Oh,
so
wow.
they only had a certain amount of money to do it with.
Yeah.
And then they came to America and sold it to Nickelodeon, and then they got a much bigger budget. So after the pilot, everything else looks a lot different. They spent a lot more money on the
Yeah.
puppets, the sets,
Yeah.
the actors.
That makes sense because I know
Yeah.
the pilot actor of Stephanie is now a voice actor now.
Yeah,
Voice
he's-
actress.
yeah, she-
There were 2 Stephanies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby Young.
Yeah, Shelby Young, and then there
Yeah,
was
there were
I
2 of
forgot-
them.
And then I think Chloe Lang was the one when Sprout came on. Chloe Lang did that when Sprout.
Chloe
took
was the
over.
last one.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I know she started with a
That was her.
J. I know that the second Stephanie
Okay,
started
that
with a
sounds
J.
right.
The second Stephanie started with a J, but I don't know her name. I don't know her name on the top of my head right now. Just just
I'm going to figure this out.
I
Okay.
can't remember it either. It's been too long.
Yeah, but
I'm
so,
figuring this out. Anyway,
while you're looking at that. So, what's one of your favorite Lazy Town songs? Did you write a song on Lazy Town or no?
I think when we wrote the scripts, they asked us to just put in an idea for a song and leave us space for it. And then they had a musical director in Iceland who really, he was friends with Magnus. And so he would write all the songs. So they would leave that to him.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing Lazy Town on
By the
all
way,
the channels.
It was Juliana
Amazing.
Rose. It was Juliana Rose Merlier or something like that.
Okay,
It was
cool.
Juliana though.
Oh yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
there you go.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I watched.
The songs are iconic, and it's still.
I mean, I watched Lazy Town on all 3 of the channels. I watched them on Nickelodeon, Noggin, and Sprout. So I'm familiar with all those channels.
Yep.
Same.
Love them. And you know, how was it? Like
I only watched it on Sprout.
Oh, you only want? Yeah. That's Lazy Town has a lot of good music in it too, so that's why I asked. You know, I mean, do you have a favorite song from Lazy Town?
It does.
Yeah, it did.
That's a good question.
Um,
There's so many.
there was this Bake a Cake song that was
Yes!
so catchy.
Yes!
I know
Drove
that
me
one.
crazy. I couldn't get it out of my
Yeah,
head.
That song's a
It
meme.
went viral on TikTok or something.
That song's a meme too. Oh my god!
It is. That's what it was. I saw.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
know
god!
exactly what
There's
that
like
is,
somebody
too.
did like
Oh,
the
okay,
little
yeah.
John version.
That's
I'm
a
familiar
really
with the
addictive
little.
song.
I'm familiar with the Little John. Oh my god! The Little John version.
Oh yeah, I think
Yes!
somebody sent me that.
Fun fact: I know the writer for that. Not the writer. I know the director for that episode. The episode's Pipe Sweets, and I know he's been on other podcasts. We might try to get him on in the future. We can go talk to him. Anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
Stephen Feldman directed that.
Yes, I love that song. God, did the cookie graduate?
Do you have a favorite episode you wrote? I don't remember the words. Do you have a favorite
can't remember
episode you
either.
wrote for Lazy Town?
I mean, obviously, Crystal Caper was the first
Yeah.
episode I ever wrote for television all the way through, so definitely my favorite. That sort of kicked off my career, that one.
And that one also has amazing songs in it.
Yeah, it does. It sure
Yeah.
does.
But you guys are talking about almost 20 years ago, so my
I
memory's
know.
a little not so great
I
about,
I
a
know.
lot of
I
that.
I know. It's been like, oh my god, 20 years now since, we got into a new gen. I'm like, I still watch TV from like when I watched like 20 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, it holds up to this. Like, wow. That's just amazing how TV just goes by and technology just goes by with this. Like,
It does.
it's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So, how did you like working with the actors on
Yeah.
that show? How were the actors?
It is.
Yeah.
They were cool. Sporticus, played by Magnus, who created the show, was very
Yeah.
nice. He was an Olympic athlete, so he was
Oh, wow.
super physical, and
Oh, yeah.
he was really into, the fitness aspect of the show and eating right. He was very interesting, and I mean, I really loved working with Robbie Rotten, although you probably know he's
Rest
passed
in
away.
peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, rest in
But
But a
peace.
very nice man, just super nice, and really into the show, and so he was probably my favorite person to talk to and work with.
Yeah.
It was really sad when I heard what happened.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, I know.
Definitely
That's
Carl.
really sad.
Yeah.
But his most popular song is "We Are."
It's
Number
crazy to think
One.
he became a meme. You're talking about me. He became a meme at the end of the show with "We're Number One."
Yes, yes, that's what I said there.
Yeah.
We are number one. Hey.
Yep, we're number one. Hey. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
Hey.
There you go, Ben.
I'm sorry.
Ben's singing it for
I
you.
had to, sorry. I
That's
had to
gross.
get it out there. Guys. Y'all know I had to do that.
I'm kidding.
So, moving on from Lazy Town, we can probably go back to it
Such an incredible song.
if we wanted to. But how was it like working
It's
on
all good.
with
I
the
started it.
It's all good.
How was it like working with the Imagination Movers?
Yeah.
It's
All good.
I'm kind of curious about something because it's not on your resume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about something.
Uh-huh.
On.
Is my audio syncing out, guys?
Yeah, what was that like?
So I didn't get to go on set for that one because I if I remember, they shot it in Florida. So my friend who was the showrunner, Rick Gittleson,
Yes.
he got to go down there, and so I wrote it from California. But it was awesome. You know, there's not a whole lot of live action kids shows anymore. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
And so they don't do a lot of them. So that was Lazy Town was live action, and then this one. So it was really cool to work with, you know, real actors. And that was another show where the guys who created Imagination Movers, they were musicians.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you weren't even allowed to, like, they were very sensitive about the music. So you literally just put a slot in your script, like song goes here, and then they would write it. So when I first started on that show, I didn't know that. And because other shows I've worked on, you're allowed to write the lyrics. Somebody might change them, but so I did. I wrote the lyric. I wrote an episode called "One Cool Mover."
Yes, an iconic
about
episode.
the motorcycle guy. Yeah, thank you.
I love it.
Oh, nice.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it's good. And I wrote the music for one of the songs, and then I got the script back with like a big red
Cool.
line to it, and just said, "Do not write the songs."
Oh wow.
So I didn't mean to upset the guys. So I said, "I'll never do it again." I didn't know, but
okay.
they were all really good, and they were great about it. Yeah.
They all seem good. I had a pleasure to talk with Scott on another podcast I was on, and he was
Yeah.
super
Oh,
nice.
good.
Same with good with audio, by the way. I heard you say something about audio.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It might.
No,
be, it
I was
might be
going to
a
ask you
problem.
I'm bad with names, but the actor who starred in One Cool Mover. Oh, that. The actor that starred in One Cool Mover, the motorcycle guy, he went
remember
on
him.
to have a really good career. What was his name?
David DeLuise. He was also on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's really
He
good.
played the
Yeah.
father on that. He has a podcast now with Jennifer Stone, who played Harper.
Okay.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. I thought he was an excellent actor, and he was perfect for the role. So,
It makes sense. His father was legendary, Dom DeLuise.
yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome.
I mean, if it's.
Yeah, that was a tricky show to write. There was a lot of writers pitching a lot of ideas, so it was hard to like. Sometimes a lot of times you'd pitch stuff and they'd be like, "Well, we already heard that." And so you used to get that with shows when they would cast a wide net to a lot of freelance writers, and you'd spend all week coming up with lots of ideas, and you send them in, and you get the whole list back. Sorry, we've already heard of all these. So it was tricky. It was tricky for some of those shows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious because I didn't see it on your resume, but I saw it on IMDb. Did you write for the Berenstain Bears?
I did not.
Okay, so somebody on IMDb is making a lie out of you saying you wrote 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I've never written on that show.
Yeah.
Just want
I
to
have
make sure
a
because I've heard
question.
that fast.
Go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead, Ben.
What was it like working on Handy Manny?
So Handy Manny was by far the biggest job I ever had. I was on it from start to finish. I probably wrote like 50 to 60 episodes of that show.
Oh, wow.
Again, my friend Rick Gittleson, who hires me a lot, he was the showrunner. And Disney ordered a lot of episodes. So
Yeah.
he would just, I was his key writer. I was the main writer. So I didn't have to really compete with anybody. He would give me first shot. So I would come up with like 25 ideas and he might approve like 15 of them, which is a very good ratio.
Oh, wow.
So I was very busy for the couple of years I was on that show. But just a wonderful show and great music. And really, I think that's one of those shows that still holds up. It's a really, really good show. And I got to meet, help me with the name of the star.
Wilmer Valderrama.
Thank you. I got to meet Wilmer a couple of
That.
times.
I didn't even know that, so don't worry.
That's why he's awesome.
You're not wrong. I didn't know
Yeah,
that either.
I'm bad with names, but yeah, Wilmer
all
I got
good,
to meet a
it's all
couple
good.
times.
We all are.
I gotta ask
Yeah.
you this. This is a question I've been dying to know ever since I found out you worked on a certain show. Did you write the Handy Manny crossover with Special Agent Osa, or did you work on it? Because it's an iconic crossover.
Is there a connection between Oso and Handy Manny?
There's a crossover episode. I don't remember what season, but there's a
Yeah.
crossover. It's called
Yeah,
The
there
Manny
is. I
with the Golden
remember
Bear.
that.
I remember seeing
Yeah.
the crossover.
That's a great
That's-
episode.
Wow, I did not know about that. That must have come. I don't know about that. That maybe it was a special or something after me.
Maybe.
I
It
thought
might
I
have
was there
because
from-
I've seen the crossover. It exists. It's on Disney Plus, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
the crossover was put on the Special Agent Oso series and not made for the Handy Manny series.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So
So Manny went on.
that makes more sense because I was staff on Handy Manny, but I wasn't on Oso. I was a freelancer. The showrunner's name was Ford Riley. And so I probably wrote, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 episodes of Oso, maybe more. I can't quite remember.
That makes sense.
But another really cute show.
It is.
That's probably one of the easier shows I've written. They were, it just had a formula to it. A lot of shows don't, but this show had a formula to it. So it was a little bit, the rules with the 1, 2, 3 countdown of how to find a solution. So for a writer, it was one of the easier shows. Once you had a good idea, it was easy to write it.
Yeah.
You just follow the formula.
That's cool. Also,
Yeah.
season 2, episode 32 of Oso. Just checked.
That's what,
So it's an iconic episode. It's on Disney Plus, I think, that episode. It's worth watching.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because they did good
I didn't
with
know it
it.
existed.
It's out there.
That's great.
It is. Okay, and we talked about saying that you said the Imagination Movers was filmed in Florida. I actually did not know that. That might have been a pilot or something, but I have a lot of shows were done in Florida anyway, but I did not know that was something was done in Florida about them. I knew that they, I heard it was shot in Louisiana, but the show was shot in Louisiana, but I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know if there were some parts that were...
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
You might be right about that, because that's where the boys are from, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
You might be right about that. Again, it's been a while, but I know my friend Rick would go down there for months at a time to shoot. So Louisiana actually sounds better.
I think it was
than Florida. Is that where the boys were from?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They were from Louisiana.
Then
but
you're probably right. You're going to have to correct me on some things because I forget certain things.
It's okay. Don't worry. I have a few shows that were done in Florida anyway.
So yeah, that's crazy.
So, I mean, I do know that they did the Disney tour. That they went to Disney World in Florida, though.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Okay.
So that's actually another interesting thing that they did. I'm trying to. Does anybody else have any more questions?
I probably just forgot about Louisiana. So you guys are right. But I know Rick spent months down there. Okay.
There's so much stuff to go on about. By the way, I just want to point this out. Doc McStuffins, amazing show you worked on. I started binge watching that last year, at the end of last year, because of the new thing that came out. It's an amazing show and good episodes.
Yeah, so that was created by Chris Nee.
Yeah, who worked on other shows before.
Yeah, she's had a long record and then a long career, and then she signed a massive development deal with Netflix a few years ago. She worked with the Obamas and developing shows for them. Yeah. So Chris is really, really smart and a really good writer, and she was an amazing showrunner on Doc. Yeah, and that was a really important show because it taught kids not to be afraid to go to the doctor, basically.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I
really
get
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean it's not that I'm afraid. I just think that just doctor's appointments are now just annoying to go to now. That's just my opinion. They're just annoying, but sometimes we have to do them. It's just one of those things you got to do.
Yeah, and if you're 5, it can be pretty scary,
Yeah.
So much stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised you haven't asked about Word World, Samuel.
Oh yeah. I need to ask about.
What was that like? How ask it?
Word World.
So, okay, Word World was a very short job.
Yeah, let me take it.
Yeah, it was a PBS Kids show. And it had like 2 iterations. I worked on one with these 2 showrunners named Dan and Tom. And then I think the show got changed. and somebody else took it over. And so there's a different one that aired later. I'm being a little vague because I wasn't involved in a lot of the moving, but Dan and Tom did a bunch of episodes on that. And at the same time, or right around that time, we did a show called Pet Alien.
Oh my
wow.
God! Yes,
catch
I
that
love
at
that
all?
show. I know that show, Pet Alien.
No.
I know that show.
I'm
No.
looking at my resume. So it aired on Cartoon Network for one season here, and then it was a European show. So it aired.
Yeah, you go Samuel
Oh.
knows it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so we were kind of doing Word World and Pet Alien around the same time, and both were very short-lived gigs. So I don't know a lot of people that had seen, especially Pet Alien.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing it
But
on
yeah,
Anime
World World was cool.
HD.
I don't know why they changed it, but sometimes that happens. They want a different vision, and so they'll let everybody go and they restructure it.
Yeah, I remember watching Pet
Okay.
Alien on Anime.
Yeah.
Do you guys know there was another short-lived show that went through the similar? It was called The Flugels.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for Sprout.
the Flugels.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a Sprout show. So
yeah.
I started on that show, and we pitched them all these ideas and wrote some episodes, and then
Oh, wow.
they changed their mind, and they let everybody go, and then they brought in all new people and redid it. So I don't even know if my episodes actually ever aired. I never really checked, but that happens sometimes in TV shows. They hire everybody and they get us going, and then
Yeah.
some executive is like, no, it's not quite what we thought we were going to get, and then they just cut everybody loose and re-team. So it's heartbreaking, but it does happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
I know. But I know you have the Apple TV thing on your resume. Would that be the Yo Gabba Gabba pilot, the reboot? Because I know it's coming back. Yo Gabba Gabba is.
So 3 years ago, I sold my first show of my own to Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's going to start airing sometime this year. They're not telling me when yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can't even tell you the title. But it is based off of a children's book, a very popular children's book. We finished it. We just delivered the last episode like 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
It's beautiful, and it's really
That's
fun
amazing.
and imaginative. It's very different.
Wow.
But they're not. I just met with them a few days ago. We had lunch, and they're like, we can't divulge the. They're not telling me the air date yet. So hopefully soon it'll be announced.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I've done 3 shows this past few years for Apple TV. I really like them a lot, and they're really trying hard to get an audience for kids shows.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
You know, your work is really amazing. I gotta say, from hearing all this, and now, you know,
Oh, thank you, Sam.
you know, it's absolutely.
He's going to go back and watch every show.
No, it's absolutely, you know, and you know, I'm not sure what kind of things we have in store this year, but I have a feeling that there might be some interesting things coming this year. I think that there's some interesting things, and I've been, you know, I'm following up and everything on pop culture, and that's what I do. I'm a researcher on pop culture. 'Cause here's my thing, you know, people follow about,
awesome.
you know, they follow about, you know, politics
We're gonna have the
and
podcast.
religion and football and whatever on the news. I think that this is the good news here. Pop culture is the good news. Because this is something that, you know, we all grew up with good writing, and, you know, we grew up with great writing, good lessons, and we have stuff
Yeah,
now that's
That's
like,
a good way to look at it.
you know, I think it's, you know, I think pop culture is good news.
Good. Me too.
That's awesome.
So, you want to know something?
Ben, you have more
Speaking of-
questions?
Going back to Word World.
Let me see here.
Oh, wait,
Is that
you're
a
going to answer
lot
a
of
question,
stuff?
Ben? You're going to answer a
Back
question,
to
Ben?
resume.
You're going to answer a question, Ben? I'm confused. I'm sorry. It might be a little delayed, but we'll just continue on.
He's looking one up.
Okay, but
He's looking. He's
Yeah,
looking. Yeah. So go ahead.
okay.
It's okay. What was it? What was it like working for Daniel Tiger's neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Tiger. I came in and out for a couple of seasons. I think I wrote 4, maybe 5 episodes. A couple for like season 3 and a couple season 4. I can't. Again, I'd have to look it up where they plug them in. But Daniel Tiger is an amazing show for kids.
It is.
Really, really clever and sensitive and sweet. They are the most particular show I've ever worked on. They're very careful about every word that gets, put in a script because they're following that Fred Rogers sort of blueprint of kindness and, gentleness. So they had a lot of specialists looking over every script, and I would get notes from 5 or 6 people with all different areas of expertise, child education, child psychologists, executives from the studio. So definitely one of the harder shows to write. And they would rewrite you a lot, but I learned not to take that personally. They know their show better than I do. So a lot of times I get the script back and there were a lot of changes. But that's just part of the, you sort of toughen up after a while and you don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more into Mr. Rogers when it comes to, stuff like this. I'm more into kind of like Mr. Rogers better. No offense to anybody that likes Daniel Tiger. I find Daniel Tiger okay, but I don't think it'll ever be as good as Mr. Rogers.
Good.
Because, Mr. Rogers, taught us a lot of things. And watching his shows and, watching his, it's... So...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing, Daniel Tiger's an amazing show. It was created by the person who worked on Blue's Clues, Angela Santamera.
Oh, yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Blue's Clues is another great show.
Yeah, a really good friend of mine who I write stuff with, his name is Dave Palmer. He was the showrunner.
I've heard of him.
Oh yeah, we did Shimmer. Yeah, we did Shimmer and Shine together. He was the showrunner or co-EP of Backyardigans.
Oh my, we might have to talk to him.
Yeah, he's amazing. A lot of people don't know though. He actually created the blue as the character. He sketched it on a piece of paper and showed it to them.
Oh my god.
He drew Blue.
Oh wow!
Wow, he drew Blue. I thought it was
Tracy. Find him.
I thought it was Tracy Johnson.
I thought it was too.
I thought it was Tracy.
I actually knew that Dave Palmer did that.
I thought it was Tracy. Dang.
I thought it was him. It
wasn't that.
No, he drew the first one.
Yeah, I thought she did
and then
both.
submitted it, and they really liked it. He
like
did that too with it's not as popular, but maybe after. But Dave came up with the original design. He's credited for that. Did you see the Hello Jack show on Apple?
I don't think so.
Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock.
I don't think so.
Do you know who Jack McBrayer is? He plays Okay, well there's a show on Apple TV called the Hello Jack, the Kindness Show, and one of the characters is a little butterfly. And anyway, Dave designed that butterfly as well, but it definitely is not as popular as Blue.
All I remember is that Blue was actually a cat at one point because I saw like a documentary thing.
Yes.
Yeah, Blue was a cat at one point. That's all I remember.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw the documentary, but it was like a behind the scenes from like 2000.
Yeah, it was behind the clues.
Okay.
It's an incredible documentary.
That's cool. Really cool. I like.
It was behind the clues, is what they.
Yes, I like that. Also, earlier we were talking about Word World. Speaking of Word World, I had one of the voices, the voices of Shark, was actually on my podcast back in February of 2022. He did. And dude, Mark Thompson, let me tell ya, he can do voices. He can still do the Shark voice to this day.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. Like, it's crazy.
Nice.
That show's an amazing cast. Tyler Bunch, Peter Wines, everybody involved. Meredith Zetlin also, I talked to on the other podcast. She's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Trying to think of a question. Yeah.
What else can we talk about?
What was it like working on Chuggington? Because that was another show that we
Oh
worked.
yeah.
So, Chuggington got, was on in England for many years.
Oh wow, didn't know that.
And then Disney bought, and then this company called, okay, I'm going to screw this up, but I think they're called Hershend Family Entertainment. They make amusement parks in the South.
Never heard of him.
I don't think I've heard
I
of
think
them.
it's Hershend Family Entertainment. I think Dolly World might be one of their parks. You can look them up. Anyway, they bought the rights to Chuggington and brought it to Disney, and Disney said, okay, we'll do one season. So, so I started writing as a freelance writer on it, and then I became good friends with the showrunner. His name's Michael Stern, and then he asked me to be the story editor, which was my first story editor job. And so we did, one season together of Chuggington, and I think it airs on Disney Junior now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or they call it Playhouse Disney now, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Playhouse Disney sadly no longer around.
Yeah, it's Disney Junior now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, it is back to it's Disney Junior again. Okay.
Yeah, well, it was Playhouse Disney originally, and then it's now Disney Junior.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a hard show to write. I mean, imagine you have characters that can't really leave the tracks except for one that flies.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's very challenging to write, and they don't have arms. So it's very tricky to write
It's just like
stories
Thomas
about
and
characters
Friends.
that
It's
are
just like Thomas.
basically locked down. So it was hard, but once we got the groove of it, we started,
it's like Thomas.
just like
Yeah.
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to copy Thomas, so we had to be very careful when we pitched ideas
Yeah.
that Thomas hadn't already done them. But Thomas has been on the air forever,
Yes.
so it was almost impossible to come up with something that wasn't kind of close. But we did our best to try to keep it as different as we could.
Speaking of Thomas, it's still going with the new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I should tell you this. We
Yeah.
actually had one of the voices of Chuggington actually
awesome.
on here. He also did music work for Thomas as well. Stephen Ashton Frank. He's
I don't know how sad.
He's an American that lives up there in the UK.
Let me see
you come
if
back?
there are questions I can ask.
Would you come back because I know? Yep.
So
Okay.
Would you come back? Maybe have you and Michael on. You mentioned him, or if we can get his contact, the guy that did Imagination Movers. Ben, what was his name?
Oh, Rick.
Because that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Rick's been around a long time. He's retired now, but he's done a lot. He and I did a lot of shows together, and he did a lot before me. So
He's hard to find a contact for, but we'll find him.
okay.
Or maybe have you
Try
and
at
Krista
least.
Fisher on. Fun fact about Krista Fisher: she was the one that wrote the Handy Manny crossover because I figured it out.
Krista Fisher.
You
I don't think I
have
know
a
who that
connection
is.
with her on LinkedIn.
Okay.
We'll find her. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
No, but
Okay.
maybe come back, have both you and Michael on because we did find his contact before the interview.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's doing bat wheels right now for Max, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think so.
All right.
Unless Ben has questions or Steven does.
All right, Ben.
I'm still looking for something. See if I can. Oh yeah. What was it like working for Olivia? That's a very nostalgic show.
Oh, Olivia.
It is.
Olivia.
Yeah, Olivia was a weird one. I don't even know if my episode actually ever aired. It
Oh,
was
wow.
a
What was
race
it
car episode.
I think
Um,
it did.
I could never find it. Maybe you guys could find it.
It's probably on
But
YouTube.
Olivia's another one of those shows. So sometimes when studios have a show that was a book, they're very protective and very careful about who writes on it and what is said. They have a brand to protect. I remember when I worked on, I worked on the Penguins of Madagascar for
I didn't think you worked on that.
Yeah.
Well-
Oh, yeah.
very short period of time, and it took a long time to get approved to work on it. And once I got to work on it, yeah, and so they're very, very protective, and they just have a few people. They don't like outsiders to write their shows, but I pitched them a few episode ideas that they really liked. And I think what happened, if I remember, is they ultimately didn't take my ideas and thanked me, and so that was the end of it. It happens all the time. And then I think I got a call about a year later or 6 months later, and they changed their mind. And they said, we really liked one of your ideas, but we want to buy it. We want to write it. So would that be okay? And sure, what do I care? So I think one of the, and I'm trying to remember what it was about. What was the king's name?
Julian.
Thank you. Wow.
Julian.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an
I
episode
did my
about King
research.
Julian. And anyway, and they wrote it. So I might have a story by credit, but I'm not even sure if I got that.
Was it the episode where he loses his hat? Because
Also,
I remember that one.
Fun fact about your episode of Olivia, it's on YouTube apparently. I googled.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's actually on the official YouTube channel. If you just
Can you
look
tell
up
me
the
what
episode name, it's out there. It's the road race episode.
What's it called?
Olivia's road race.
Dude, that is so nice. Thank you. I'm going to look it up.
On YouTube.
Wow.
Oh, I never knew if they made it. That's
wow,
really nice.
Wyatt, you were actually a big.
What was it like
Okay.
working on Goldie and Bear?
So I was a staff writer, which staff jobs are really hard to come by. Most of the time, preschool shows, they freelance. So
I did my research, Samuel.
that's awesome. Yeah, Goldie and Bear was amazing. They hired 5 of us to, for a year or 2 years. They put us in a office building near Hollywood, and it was tough. Again, Disney is not easy to work for. They're very particular. You get a lot of notes. You write an 11-page or 15-page script, and you'll get 11 pages of notes. I mean, a lot of notes. So not an easy show to work for, and but in the end, I think it's a really cute show. I don't think it got the credit that it deserves. It only got 2 seasons.
Oh, wow.
I think I was on season 1, and then they did one more without me. If I'm
That's crazy.
hopefully,
There's only 2.
Okay. Yeah. So, but a great show idea. I love,
It is a good show.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good Disney shows. Like, there's nothing like Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues is ending. There's nothing like Imagination Movers nowadays, which we need. Those shows around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know
And
if
I
you
know
know
they're still going because they're working on new music and stuff.
Yep. And did you know they're bringing back Barney?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
What's your
Yes, I did.
on that? You asked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote one episode that'll be coming out.
Oh, wow.
I don't know when.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
when they're releasing it, but
I didn't know that. That's awesome. I know
Wow.
Alex, our other coach, who's not here, would be happy to figure that out.
Wow.
okay. It's going to be animated though, not a puppet.
Yeah.
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 We did,
Okay.
I'll tell you this, as far as that series go, the voice actor has not been revealed for Barney. Only the classic voice actor has.
Yeah.
I have another quick question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Since you mentioned the show that's not on your resume, is there any other shows like that are like? Have you worked on any shows that have puppets in them, like at all?
Well, Lazy Town was all
Besides
puppets.
Lazy Town.
Yeah, besides
Hold on, let me look.
kind of like I don't know, like Sesame Workshop related or something.
Yeah, Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, I never worked on Sesame Street, and I don't think I've worked on any other puppet shows. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I wouldn't
okay.
think
Okay, that's
so.
fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
That's
think
fine.
so. I mean, there's a lot of interesting Jim Henson shows out there that I've really watched over the years. So I thought you would have probably
that
you
is
worked.
tough.
You also wrote an episode of Jacob and the Neverland Pirates, which is a good show.
Yes, Jake.
I think I wrote
Jake.
Yep. I've spent a lot of time at Henson. I know them very well. I developed some things with them.
If you need some.
Um,
Hi,
but
can you
I've
say-
never. I don't think anything got sold that I helped work with them. I was there when they were doing a show called Splash and Bubble.
Yeah. I know
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I know
that show actually came out.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I
out.
did not write on it, but I was there when they were doing it, and they just used to call me a lot to like. They would say, "Oh, somebody came in and pitched this idea, but it needs help, it needs work," and so they would hire me to like help develop
Yeah.
new ideas. They had a really good development department, so I really enjoy working with Henson a lot. But it was tough to get a show sold because a lot of their stuff is Muppet based.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tricky, but I've done a lot of work with them on the behind the scenes.
Mhm. What was Jake and the Neverland Pirates like?
Jake was cool. Again, it was early in my career, so I
Yeah.
think I maybe wrote 3 or 4 episodes, and in fact, that's another one of those shows where I left. I was a freelancer, so I was
Yeah.
done, and then they called me like a long time later, and they said, we have a show that's airing or we're about to air, but when I looked, the showrunner had said, his name was Mark. He said, when I look back at my notes, I realized that it was your idea. We just forgot. We thought it was our idea and we wrote it. And he said, and I'm just being really honest with you. I look back at the notes and it was an idea that you had pitched. So we're going to pay you for the story idea and give you a credit. So I probably wrote 3 or 4 episodes, and then 1 episode just says story by. But that was very nice of him. He did not have to do that. So that was cool. I forget Mark's last. Can you tell me what's Mark's last name? He was the showrunner.
I don't know.
You guys know everything.
Let me see.
Yeah. Plus,
While I look that up, what other stuff did you develop for Henson?
So Henson had
Mark Drop, I think, right?
Yes, Mark
There it
Drop.
is.
Good job. Yes,
You're welcome.
super nice, super nice guy.
I've run into him on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he's very nice and very knowledgeable. Done a lot of Disney stuff.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for Henson, the stuff we developed never aired, so you wouldn't have seen it. There was a farm show that they wanted to do, where a little girl was a farmer, but she also was like a secret agent on the side. So her barn like converted to a
I never heard of that.
super lair. It never aired. It never got off the page.
Yeah, it never aired.
Yeah, and then there was a toy that they had bought the rights to, and I developed that. But again, that happens a lot. I get hired a lot to develop things that just don't ever go. That's just the nature of the business.
That's awesome. And I know for a fact, you mentioned Barney, we're definitely looking forward to the reboot. I'm hyped for it. It's going to have the classic songs as well as new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of songs in this series too. It looks really good. I've seen some of the animatics. It looks great.
And I know some of the fans are not happy about the new Barney design, but it's grown on me after seeing it.
I'm
personally, I think it looks good.
Oh, good. I think you're going to like this new. If you can get past the being animated, I think you're going to like the stories and the way he looks.
I'm decent to
Barney. Yeah, he's decent to Barney. I know, speaking of Barney, Bob West, the original voice of Barney, even wants to be a part of the new series.
I don't know what happened with that. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even think they hired him back to do the voice.
Sorry,
actually, no, I was going to say, can you say who the new voice is? But it's not out there.
I don't think I'm allowed to say.
Because the last thing I heard about it, it was a Canadian. It's the last thing I heard that it's a Canadian voice.
Remember that was that Barney that did the Valentine's Day message or something? The new voice?
Corey Durham.
Boy, you have a good memory.
So how I remember this, I'll tell you this. The Valentine's message he's talking about came out recently. It came out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
And it was the classic Barney voice, because Corey Durham, it was amazing, by the way. Even though he didn't work on much, it'd be cool to have him on. Didn't so much stuff.
You'll notice that a lot of shows, especially modern shows, we do a lot of voiceover recording in Canada because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've noticed. And I think it's cheaper in the UK too. Isn't it? I think so. I would believe so. That's what I was told.
Yeah, the new show that I have coming out on Apple, was all done in the UK. The UK offers an amazing tax benefit. So at the end of the year, they give you back like 20% of your money for doing business there.
Wow.
So it's really
What?
helpful to do your show in the UK.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that America's
Wow.
pretty strict about stuff
might
like
be-
this. I
Never
hear.
get the show actor that you do.
So that's
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. And also, speaking of, we spoke about Jake and the Neverland Pirates earlier. I do know that there were some Disney
No, I
stars
did. I
that were
brought it
on
up.
there. There were some Disney stars that were on there. So they voiced some of the
Yeah,
characters.
Cameron
on there.
Boyce.
Yeah, Cameron Boyce, Allison Snyder, I believe
Yeah.
her name is.
Mark
now.
was very. Yeah, the guy that did Goofy.
I met him. I met him at GalaxyCon.
Again, I don't know his name, but
Bill
Mark was
Farmer.
very
Bill Farmer.
wanted like the real people, like
Farmer?
the real hardcore Disney people back on that show.
Yeah, I met him in person.
There you go. That's it, Bill Farmer. That's it.
Hopefully you can get out to these Comic Cons and stuff, because I go to GalaxyCon
Yeah,
whenever it's
I've been
around.
trying to go to a Comic Con.
So let's get you out to
it's
some of these
really
cons. It'd be
hard.
cool to hang out in
I know.
person.
I never go.
We should get you to one of them.
Hey, yeah, I
We should get you to one of all these other people doing it. Why not you? Come on.
Yeah,
it's
come on,
expensive.
Cal.
It's very expensive for me, and I'm
Yeah.
very low right now in my life.
So guys, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
If you have to go, Samuel does have one more question.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had fan questions, but I think they're always the same as always, and I think they kind of sort of sum up.
Yeah, we already answered them.
Yeah, I think we already answered them anyway. So this podcast is called
Okay.
Entertainment Treasure Talk with me, Samuel Warwick, of course, and we normally like to ask people, oh my gosh, I can't think of the question off of my what is something that is entertainment treasure to you? Like, for example, when you look it up, when you look at this, like when you look at it, when you watch something like a video game, or whatever. I can't speak right now. It's kind of hard for me to explain this, but when you look at a TV show, a video game, or music, or whatever you look at, what in my opinion, it's like what's probably.
Hey, you want me to say it?
What's your biggest say?
Or you go back and watch this stuff. What do you consider entertainment treasure?
Yes.
Yeah, what is entertainment treasure to you?
Oh, I think
Like your work
it's-
is. Hold on, I'll give you an example. Your work is like all the shows you worked on is entertainment treasure.
Yep.
To us. What's entertainment treasure to you?
the ones that last through time, the ones that I'll hear a friend's kid is watching that I wrote 15 years ago. That's a treasure. Because
that's awesome.
once I'm gone, that's all that's left of is the stuff that I put out there. So the fact that people are still watching it and it's making them laugh or think or feel something, that's an amazing gift. So I'm just really grateful I got to do it.
We'll still support you. What would you like to say to the fans, though, is the question.
Yeah.
Say that again?
What would you like to say to the fans of all your work? And then what?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We'll keep
supporting.
supporting.
Yeah,
And we're
appreciate
definitely love to have you back on in the future to
Yes,
talk more.
we
We'll
would.
get Michael on.
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, thanks, guys. It was a pleasure, really. I love
you.
you.
It's
I love
been
that
an
You're
honor.
so knowledgeable.
Talking to you
I
too.
do my research, but by the way,
I'll say.
I want to say this. But this is Ben's first ever podcast. He's
This
been a
is
part
Ben, and
of.
this
So
is
you're the
actually our
first
first podcast of
Well
done,
2024,
Ben.
guys. First podcast of
Thank you.
2024.
He's hired.
First episode of 2024,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you,
That's
Sam.
another thing. So,
You as well. Thank you. And
I'll
I-
definitely keep in touch with you, and I'll send you the Olivia episode, and I'll send this episode. When it
yeah.
Yes, first guest of 2024.
Yeah.
21st guest.
All right,
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I know we
We got
had
more
a little bit of
episodes on the
audio
way.
trouble, but you know
Okay.
what? We did what we
Well,
got.
thank
through
you
it.
again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
send you the
Mr.
episode when
Mike.
it comes out through email.
Okay. I look
There you
forward
go.
to it. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mike,
You're
for
welcome.
joining us. And
Okay,
Bye.
bye, guys.
bye, Mike.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
We'll see you later, Mike.
Oh,
Wow.
bye.
Yeah,
That was amazing.
that was awesome, guys. Yeah, I gotta say that was a really good. That was a really good episode. What do you
I
guys think?
got through it. It's amazing.
Thank you, Ben. What? How was that?
What?
Ben's over here shocked now.
Yeah. Well, everybody.
I know that was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I can't believe it. I'm excited for future.
Me too.
I'm not excited. I'm back on.
Me too. Anyway, that's it from us
It
as well,
was.
guys.
It was. We're
Yeah.
definitely having it back on in the future.
Yes. Yeah, that's it from us as well, guys.
Yeah.
Because even though we did have some audio trouble, we may have some delayed audio. We still had a
He'll
great
be back
interview.
in the future. Sure.
But that's it from me, Wyatt, and our new guest Ben as well. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us, you guys. We had a blast here today, and we hope to see more episodes like this in the future. Be on the lookout for more episodes for 2024, everyone. And plus, you guys might want to be on board because we got some people coming, so you might want to be on board.
You're definitely on a future episode. Ben, confirming it. See ya. You're worth it.
Bye, everybody.
Next episode.
Wait, what's that? Continue.
Oh God. Get down.
We got more guests coming. Ben, you can help with contact people now.
Yes.
Oh God, the cat.
All right.
Ben, say bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
You're worth it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk. We hope that you had fun and that you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, maybe you'd like to watch or hear more episodes of the show. The link to the playlist is in the description. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more upcoming episodes. And don't forget that you're awesome and that you too are filled with entertainment treasure. See you next time for another great episode of the podcast. Peace out.